Hello guys, it's Grace.Filled. I'm so excited because in this video I am going to be making some dinner, and I thought that I would bring you guys along with me. I am making a vegetarian chicken pot pie. I have made so many versions of these on here over the past 6 years, but I thought I would do another one. So if you give this a try and you like it, let me know. If you give this a try and you don't like it, sorry. You can adjust this thing to your own taste and to your own likings, and so do what works for you and for your family. And with that said, let's get right into it. Okay, I'm starting off with these Gardein chicken strips that were frozen, so they were hard to cut. So my daughter and I are just chopping them up into smaller pieces because they are gonna go into the pot pie. So the next step is we're taking this gravy that I made from scratch last night. I made one that was a country gravy, and then I took the country gravy and combined it with mushrooms to give me like a mushroom. I was kind of going for like a cream of mushroom because the cream of mushroom that you buy in the store is not vegan. And so I figured this might work in its place, and it did. So it was perfect. We got to eat it last night, and then we got to come back and use it today for this recipe. I love it. Cook once, use it twice. Speaking of gravy, we needed a little bit more. So what I'm doing now is making a different gravy. I know, right? Like Christy, 3 gravies? But this one is more like a KFC replica type thing. And like I said, the other one last night was a mushroom gravy, and it was a country gravy. So just the mix together. Oh my goodness, I love gravies. I love mushrooms. I love onions, all those things. So this just makes me so happy. So anyway, I'm just stirring it all up, and then I'm gonna just add some water. So everyone is in here with me in the kitchen. Some of the kids are working on their spelling, and some are helping me. Lonnie was just helping me cut up the chicken. Aaron is my helper for today, so you'll see him a lot in this video, very hands-on. And Manny helped me make the gravies that we did yesterday. Again, I am a huge gravy lover. So here we are just mixing all 3 gravies together, and it just makes my heart so happy, and I am loving being able to test out all these different gravies. Okay, Christy, enough about the gravy. So what I'm doing is I'm adding this organic canned corn, 2 cans of it, to this gravy. And then I'm going ahead and I'm adding in the frozen veggies. So what I did was I have 3 bags of corn and peas, and I took 1 bag that has the peas, carrots, and string beans, and I just mixed them all together. They did not have any organic mixed vegetables. They haven't had them in a while. So this is why I added the 2 cans of corn. And to be honest, I don't really like string beans like that. So I was fine with just having 1 package that had string beans because it still ended up being a nice amount. So my son wants to be funny here, but I'm just stirring everything up, and as I'm stirring it up and adding the chicken, I realized that I could use a little bit more gravy. And I would say to you, if you're making this recipe, make 3 times the gravy that you think you need, because I don't know, the gravy just gets sucked up. And hey, you can just never have enough gravy. So if I could do it all over again, I would definitely add potatoes to this, but I didn't have any. I have been wanting to can some pints and quarts of potatoes, and I just haven't had the time to get around to it. Okay, I haven't made the time to get around to it. So once I make those, then when I'm making meals like this and other meals, I can easily just add in, the potatoes, and it's just a beautiful thing. But I didn't have any here, so I didn't get to add any, but it was still really delicious. So here we are just adding a little more gravy to the top. We just wanted to make sure that it had enough. The last thing that we're gonna do now is make the topping for this, and we're gonna do one kind of like a biscuit. But I don't have biscuits, so I'm about to show you how to make a DIY biscuit. So let's do that really quick. Okay, so now we're gonna use baking powder. We did 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and now we're gonna do 6 teaspoons of baking powder. Papa, you wanna help me?
Yep.
Okay, so 1, 2. I can hold it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir.
2. Now we're gonna do.
Hold. Okay. 1 up.
2.
Yep. 3.
3. 4.
4.
It's stuck in there. Came out. 5.
5.
Now we have more ice cream.
Let's do half this time, since one was maybe a little bit more than the other. Okay? And you can go ahead and now we have 6 teaspoons of baking powder, and we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Can you go get the salt, Papa?
1/2. What's the teaspoon? 1/2. Isn't this 1/2, Mom? It's just 1.5. Teaspoons of salt.
So we're gonna fill up this one.
How did I fill it up without a spoon, Mom? Shouldn't we do it?
We can put it over the bowl. No, not that way. There's one side that you shake, and there's one side that you pour. So you're gonna do one of these. Oh.
It came out too.
Okay.
Guess I got some salty.
Instead of the half, we'll do probably that since I'm already fill in. So that was 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And this is not this sea salt, it's the sea salt I bought in bulk. And I just refill this. And as soon as I'm done with when this goes in the oven, I'm gonna refill my flour because the baking station's running a little low. And the last thing that we need for this recipe is butter. We are plant-based, so this entire recipe, if you didn't know, is plant-based. You can substitute dairy, hold on one second. You can substitute regular butter, and you can substitute regular chicken. So for this recipe, we need 4 tablespoons of butter. So we're gonna do, right here, Papa, look up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll just basically cut this in half. Can you go get that with that cutter? Do you know the cutter that Mama uses when I do bread? It's the one we cut with, the one that we use when we're doing biscuits. The one you hold on to and you kind of make noises with. So I have just kind of wrote out the DIY gravy, the DIY biscuit, and this recipe in the small numbers because most people just need a serving size of 4. And so for me, I made this recipe a serving size 16, and that way we could eat one for maybe 1 or 2 days, especially if we have it with a salad or something with it. We could definitely make this go for 2 meals. And the other one could be frozen so that if I'm having a hard time or if I'm sick, if the homeschool lessons go too far over or my husband needs to help, he's not lost and wondering what to do and the world doesn't stop. We can just grab something out the freezer and keep moving. Let me see what you got.
It's got so tough, Mom.
So tough?
Yes, it's got tough as metal. What kind of that tough? That's the toughest getting. No way, Tuttle. You'll be rolled out. Rolled out.
How much, where's my phone at? Let me figure out how much.
Well, how do you mix it so hard, Mom? How do you mix it easily get it, Mom?
In his defense, it really was hard to stare, but this Papa, you guys know I always talk about Papa. He makes me laugh so much, and so you can't see me, but I am literally holding back my laughter. This is tough as metal. Oh man, I don't know. Am I the only one who has kids that just crack you up? I mean, really, all my kids are funny, and honestly, I spend a big part of my day laughing. Or I'm just like these kids. But either way, I'm still laughing. I mean, I am just so blessed to be their mommy, seriously. And I am so thankful to the Most High God, Yah, the Elohim, that I get to be here with them, that I get to teach them, that I get to mix this tough as nail or metal mix with them. And look at my son putting his little fingers in there in the camera. That's the one I call Mr. Guy that doesn't want to be in the camera but loves, doing all kind of things in front of the camera. So anyway, I'm just so grateful and so blessed. And we were doing this anyway. So I thought, you know what? While I'm spending time with some of my favorite people, let's go ahead and bring some of my other favorite people in as well and let you see what we're doing and how we're doing what we do. In a way, sometimes it feels awkward, like I'm recording me and my children making this, but it's like, well, representation matters. And sometimes when you see another family that looks like yours, be it they just look like your family, be it they look like your family in size, be it they look like your family as far as another homeschool family, another family of faith and grace, it's just encouraging and it just does something for you. And so that is part of the reason I just love making these videos, as well as leaving a legacy for my kids.
But this is going to taste good.
I think it's going to taste good too. We have two. So one we're going to eat today.
And when we can eat tomorrow?
No, when we're going to freeze. We're trying to work on building up our freezer meals.
And also, if we need to,
so when the Sabbath comes, you don't have to worry about cooking.
This could probably last us more than one day. One of these maybe could last 2 or 3 days. That's after the Sabbath. After the Sabbath.
Okay, so the timer is going off for the pies. Let's see what's happening over here. So what we're going to be eating tonight for dinner. I'm satisfied with the way that it looks. Okay, buddy.
Okay.
And I just tasted a little bit of it. Chef to the kiss. Kiss to the chefs. It was amazing. Oh, it makes me want to bite my fingers. So it's so good. The other one I took out already. That's what that timer is for. I didn't want it to cook all the way because I'm gonna put it in the freezer. We want to cook once, eat twice. So one is going to be enough for us for maybe a day. Maybe it might be enough for 2 meals. If not, it'll be definitely enough for 1 meal and lunch for my husband. And the other one, like I said, it's going to go right into the freezer. And now when I want a meal, I've got something that's quick, that's easy, that's already done. I literally stick into the oven and boom, it's a done deal. I'm super excited. I will bring you back when it cools off. And when I put it on a plate or something before I eat it. I did have to put it back in the oven for about another 15 minutes or so, but we loved it so much. It was phenomenal. Blessings.